Mongolia, a vast land of endless steppes and nomadic traditions, remains one of the world's most isolated nations. In this travel documentary, discover 15 mind-blowing facts that reveal its untamed beauty, hidden culture, and extraordinary way of life. Mongolian women are very hospitable and generous. Mongolian women are known for their warm hospitality, a trait that runs deep in the culture of the steppe. In a country where vast open landscapes and harsh climates have shaped daily life, hospitality is not just politeness, it is survival. Visitors are welcomed with food, tea, and a place to rest, no matter how modest the home may be. In the context of dating, this hospitality shines through in the way Mongolian women treat their partners. Whether preparing a traditional meal like booze, steamed dumplings, or offering thoughtful gestures, generosity is seen as a reflection of care and sincerity. This creates a dating atmosphere rooted in kindness, where gestures of giving carry deep emotional meaning. Generosity also extends beyond the home and into how Mongolian women support their relationships. They are known to be loyal and committed, often putting genuine effort into making their partners feel comfortable and valued. Many women balance traditional responsibilities, such as maintaining family customs, with modern expectations of equality in relationships. When dating, this might mean they expect the same respect and effort in return, but they set the tone with warmth and openness. For men, this can be both reassuring and humbling, as generosity in Mongolian dating culture often comes with the unspoken rule of reciprocity. A woman's kindness is not simply an act, it is an invitation to match her sincerity. In rural Mongolia, where life is closely tied to nomadic traditions, women often demonstrate hospitality through tangible acts of care, like offering travelers fermented mare's milk or a warm place by the fire. In relationships, this same instinct translates into creating security and comfort for a partner. Dating in Mongolia, therefore, is not only about romance, but also about experiencing a culture where generosity is at the core of human connection. The world's least densely populated country, Mongolia, with its sweeping steppes, rugged mountains, and endless blue skies, is the world's least densely populated country. Imagine an entire nation with only about 3.4 million people scattered across a landmass twice the size of Texas. This means vast stretches of untouched landscapes where you might travel for hours without seeing another human being. It is this very isolation that has preserved Mongolia's wild beauty and given it an aura of mystery. The silence of the steppes, broken only by the sound of galloping horses or the whistle of the wind, creates an environment unlike anywhere else on Earth. This extraordinary emptiness has shaped the way Mongolians live. A large number still follow the centuries-old nomadic lifestyle, moving with their herds across immense plains. With such a small population and vast space, life is deeply intertwined with nature. Families live in gurs, portable round tents that symbolize both simplicity and resilience. Roads are scarce, towns are small, and traditions remain strong because modern development has not completely reshaped the country's rhythm. In Mongolia, community is not defined by crowded neighborhoods, but by shared customs, hospitality, and the need to look out for one another in an often harsh climate. Yet Mongolia is far from empty in spirit. Its openness offers freedom, adventure, and a unique sense of peace that can rarely be found in today's crowded world. Standing in the middle of the steppe, with no buildings in sight, one feels both humbled and empowered. Here, the land itself becomes the main character, and the people who inhabit it reflect that same strength, endurance, and independence. Nomadic lifestyle still thrives in Mongolia. Nearly 30% of Mongolians still live as nomads, carrying forward a lifestyle that has remained largely unchanged for centuries. On the endless steppes, families pack their entire lives into a jur, a portable round tent, and move with their herds in search of fresh pastures. This way of life is both practical and deeply rooted in tradition, as the vast open land makes farming difficult but perfect for grazing livestock such as horses, sheep, goats, yaks, and camels. The nomad's deep connection to the land reflects the same rhythm of survival and adaptation that sustained their ancestors during the time of Genghis Khan. Life on the steppe is simple but demanding. Families must dismantle and reassemble their jurs with each move, relying on teamwork and resilience to withstand Mongolia's extreme climates. From blistering summers to freezing winters, horses remain central, not just as a means of transport, but as symbols of pride and independence. Children learn to ride almost as soon as they can walk, becoming active participants in herding. Despite having little access to modern conveniences, nomads value self-sufficiency, hospitality, and respect for nature, which are woven into every part of their daily lives. What makes this lifestyle remarkable is its survival in the modern world. While cities like Ulaanbaatar expand, nomadic families continue their seasonal migrations, guided by the same instincts and traditions passed down for generations. It is a life that prizes freedom over material wealth, mobility over permanence, and community over individualism. To live as a nomad in Mongolia is to live in harmony with the land, embracing a culture of endurance and freedom that continues to define the heart of the nation. The eternal blue sky. Mongolia is often called the land of the eternal blue sky, and for good reason. It basks in around 250 to 260 sunny days each year. Across the vast steppes, deserts, and mountains, the skies stretch endlessly in brilliant shades of blue, giving the country its signature open and expansive feel. For centuries, Mongolians have looked to this eternal sky not only as a natural wonder, but also as a spiritual symbol, deeply rooted in their culture and traditions. In fact, the ancient Mongols worshipped Tengr, the eternal sky, seeing it as a guiding force that connected them to the universe and their destiny. The abundance of sunshine shapes daily life in fascinating ways. Despite Mongolia's harsh winters, where temperatures can plunge below -30 degrees Celsius, the skies remain bright and clear, bringing a sense of optimism and endurance to the people. Summers, on the other hand, showcase golden steppes and wide horizons under a dazzling sun, perfect for the traditional lifestyle of herders and nomads. The light is so striking that it often creates surreal landscapes, with the Gobi Desert glowing under the sun, or the snow-capped Altai Mountains gleaming against the sky. For travelers, the clarity and purity of Mongolia's skies make it a dream destination for photography, stargazing, and simply experiencing untouched natural beauty. What's extraordinary is how the eternal blue sky has become inseparable from Mongolia's identity. It inspires art, music, and poetry, while also symbolizing freedom, resilience, and an unbreakable bond between people and the natural world. To stand beneath Mongolia's endless skies is to understand the soul of the country itself. Vast, free, and timeless. Birthplace of Genghis Khan. Mongolia's wide valleys and sweeping plains carry the legacy of one of history's most formidable leaders, Genghis Khan. Born as Temujin in the 12th century, he rose from humble beginnings to unite scattered nomadic tribes under his command. From these rugged landscapes, where survival demanded resilience and strength, he forged the foundations of the Mongol Empire, which would go on to become the largest contiguous land empire the world has ever seen. The very land that nurtured his people's skills in horsemanship, hunting, and warfare became the launchpad for a global force that reshaped civilizations. The empire that originated in the heart of Mongolia eventually extended from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe, encompassing vast territories that included China, Persia, and parts of Russia. Genghis Khan was not only a conqueror, but also a visionary who established laws, promoted trade, and encouraged cultural exchange along the Silk Road. His leadership turned the nomadic traditions of the steppes into a disciplined and powerful military strategy, with horseback archers who struck fear into kingdoms and empires alike. The stories of his campaigns echo through history, but so too does the innovation he brought to governance and diplomacy. Even today, Genghis Khan's legacy is deeply woven into Mongolia's national identity. His image adorns currency and monuments, and is the pride of the Mongolian people, who regard him as a symbol of strength, unity, and endurance. To visit Mongolia is to step into the birthplace of a legend, where the winds still sweep across the same plains that once bore the footsteps of the empire's founder and his fearless horsemen. Yurts, or gurs, are still home in Mongolia. Across the vast Mongolian steppes, the sight of round white tents, known as gurs or yurts, remains a defining feature of daily life. These portable homes have sheltered nomadic families for centuries, offering a perfect balance of practicality and tradition. Made of wooden lattice frames covered with thick layers of felt, gurs are designed to withstand Mongolia's extreme climate, where winters plunge to -40 degrees and summers bring scorching heat. Their circular design resists the strong winds of the open plains, while a central stove keeps the interior warm and serves as the family's hearth. Despite Mongolia's gradual urbanization, nearly a third of the population still lives in gurs, a testament to the enduring nomadic way of life. Easily dismantled and reassembled, they allow families to move with their herds in search of fresh pastures, just as their ancestors did hundreds of years ago. Inside, the space is compact yet organized, featuring colorful rugs, low wooden furniture, and a skylight at the top that lets in sunlight during the day and reveals the stars at night. The GR is not just a shelter, but a symbol of resilience, adaptability, and harmony with nature. In modern Mongolia, gurs stand both on remote grasslands and in the outskirts of Ulaanbaatar, where many urban families continue to favor them over apartments. Some have even been adapted with solar panels and modern conveniences, blending tradition with innovation. Whether old or new, the GR remains at the heart of Mongolian culture, a living link between the country's past and present, embodying a lifestyle shaped by mobility, family, and the eternal embrace of the steppe. The harsh Dzud winters. Mongolia's breathtaking landscapes hide a brutal reality that has shaped its people for centuries. The dreaded Dzud. This natural disaster strikes when harsh winters follow dry summers, leaving little grazing land for animals. Then, as temperatures plunge far below freezing and snow buries the steppe, millions of livestock, sheep, goats, horses, and cattle, can starve or freeze to death. For nomadic families who depend entirely on their herds for food, clothing, transport, and income, a severe dzud is not just an environmental challenge, but a fight for survival. The impact of a dzud ripples through every part of Mongolian life. When herds die, families lose their wealth, food supply, and ability to trade. Communities that have survived in harmony with the land for generations can suddenly find themselves displaced and struggling to adapt. Children may leave schools as families migrate to urban areas in search of aid, while traditions tied to herding weaken under the strain. In extreme years, the loss has been catastrophic. Millions of animals perishing, and entire livelihoods wiped out in a single winter. Yet, resilience defines the Mongolian spirit. Families prepare by storing fodder, insulating their jurs, and relying on centuries-old survival knowledge. Government and international aid often step in with relief, but survival still hinges on endurance and adaptability. Dzud is a stark reminder of nature's power and the fragile balance nomads must maintain with the land. Despite the hardship, Mongolians continue their way of life, facing each winter with courage, perseverance, and hope that spring will bring renewal. The vast Gobi Desert. The Gobi Desert, stretching across southern Mongolia and northern China, is one of the most fascinating landscapes on Earth. Not the endless sea of sand many imagine, but a place of striking diversity. Its terrain is a blend of rocky mountains, dry valleys, gravel plains, and patches of grasslands that support hardy plants and wildlife. Despite being a desert, the Gobi experiences extreme seasons, from blistering summer heat to freezing winter cold, making it one of the harshest yet most captivating environments to explore. Far from being empty, the Gobi is teeming with life. Wild camels, snow leopards, and the rare Gobi bear survive in its challenging conditions. Alongside herds of gazelles and countless bird species, nomadic herders also inhabit its fringes, moving with their livestock and proving that life can flourish even in this unforgiving terrain. Beyond its natural beauty, the desert has long served as a vital trade route, with caravans of the ancient Silk Road crossing its vast expanse to connect east and west. Perhaps most thrilling of all, the Gobi is a treasure trove of history, buried beneath its sands and rocks. Paleontologists have uncovered some of the world's most significant dinosaur fossils here, including nests with fossilized eggs that have rewritten our understanding of prehistoric life. These discoveries transformed the Gobi into a hotspot for scientists and adventurers alike. It is a desert of contrasts, harsh yet life-giving, barren yet rich in secrets, reminding us that even the most desolate landscapes can hold wonders beyond imagination. Golden eagle hunters. High in the rugged Altai Mountains of western Mongolia, an ancient tradition continues to thrive: the art of golden eagle hunting. For centuries, Kazakh nomads have trained these majestic birds to hunt foxes, hares, and even wolves, a skill passed down from father to son, both as a survival tool and a cultural treasure. The bond between hunter and eagle is extraordinary, built on trust and respect. As these massive birds, with wingspans stretching up to 7 feet, are powerful predators capable of swooping down at incredible speeds. The training process itself is remarkable. Young eagles are carefully captured and nurtured, learning to respond to the hunter's call and commands. Once trained, they hunt alongside their human partners during the harsh winter months, when warm furs are most needed. The practice is not only practical, but also symbolic, reflecting resilience, courage, and harmony with nature. Hunters treat their eagles with deep reverence, often releasing them back into the wild after years of partnership, ensuring the balance between tradition and ecological respect remains intact. Today, golden eagle hunting has also become a source of cultural pride and international fascination. The annual Golden Eagle Festival in Bayan-Olgi showcases the skills of these hunters, drawing visitors from around the world who marvel at the sight of humans and eagles working as one. More than just a hunting practice, it represents the endurance of nomadic heritage, where human survival and natural power intertwine in a breathtaking display of skill, respect, and ancient wisdom. Mongolia, the world's horse nation. In Mongolia, horses are not just animals. They are the heart of the nation's identity. With more than 4 million horses roaming the vast steppes, the country is home to more horses than people. These sturdy, resilient animals have carried Mongolians through history, serving as essential companions in warfare, travel, herding, and daily survival. The deep bond between Mongolians and their horses is woven into legends, songs, and traditions, making them a living symbol of freedom and strength across the endless grasslands. From the earliest age, Mongolian children are taught to ride. Many learn to sit confidently on horseback before they can even walk steadily, growing up with reins in their hands as naturally as others hold pencils. Riding is not merely a skill, but a way of life, necessary for herding livestock and navigating the vast open spaces of the steppe. The horse becomes a trusted partner, carrying its rider through snow, rivers, and mountains, always adapting to the rugged demands of Mongolia's climate. The relationship is so integral that Mongolian warriors of the past, under the leadership of Genghis Khan, built the largest land empire in history on horseback. Even today, horses remain at the center of festivals and celebrations. The annual Nadam Festival highlights their importance with thrilling long-distance races, where children as young as 5 serve as jockeys. These races can stretch for miles across the plains, testing both endurance and skill. In Mongolia, to know horses is to understand the spirit of the nation, untamed, resilient, and free. Throat singing in Mongolia. Mongolian throat singing, known as kume, is one of the most remarkable vocal traditions in the world. This ancient art allows singers to produce 2 or more notes at the same time, creating an otherworldly sound that echoes the vast landscapes of the steppes. Rooted in nomadic culture, throat singing emerged from a profound connection to nature, imitating the whistle of the wind, the rush of rivers, or the calls of animals across the plains. It is more than music. It is a spiritual dialogue between humans and the environment, capturing the very essence of Mongolia's open skies and boundless horizons. The technique requires extraordinary skill and control. Singers manipulate their throat, mouth, and vocal cords to create a deep, droning bass note, while producing high-pitched overtones above it. The result is a haunting harmony that feels almost impossible to come from a single human voice. Traditionally performed by men, throat singing was practiced around campfires, during rituals, or as a way of paying tribute to the land and its spirits. Today, both men and women have embraced the art, keeping the tradition alive and introducing it to audiences worldwide. In modern Mongolia, throat singing has become a source of national pride. It is celebrated at festivals, taught in music schools, and shared on global stages where it mesmerizes listeners with its raw, primal beauty, strong shamanistic and Buddhist traditions. Mongolia's spiritual identity is a fascinating blend of ancient shamanistic practices and Tibetan Buddhism, creating a culture where the earthly and the divine coexist. Shamanism, one of the world's oldest belief systems, has long been tied to the nomadic lifestyle of the Mongols. Shamans acted as healers, guides, and intermediaries between humans and the spirit world, calling upon nature and ancestral spirits for wisdom and protection. Even today, rituals involving drumming, chanting, and offerings are performed, especially in rural areas, to seek blessings for health, fertility, and safe journeys across the vast steppes. With the arrival of Tibetan Buddhism in the 16th century, Mongolia embraced a new spiritual path while preserving its shamanistic roots. Buddhism brought monasteries, lamas, and a philosophy of compassion, reincarnation, and enlightenment. Rather than replacing shamanism, it intertwined with it, creating a unique spiritual harmony. Pilgrimages to sacred mountains, sky burials, and elaborate ceremonies blend Buddhist teachings with ancient rituals, reflecting a worldview where the physical and spiritual realms are inseparable. Monasteries like Erdenezu and Gandantigchinlin stand as powerful symbols of this fusion, echoing with prayers and the rhythmic chants of monks. In daily life, Mongolians often honor both traditions. Families may visit a lama for blessings, while also consulting a shaman for guidance. Sacred ovus, stone cairns found on mountain passes, are still adorned with blue kadag scarves as offerings to the spirits. This seamless blending of shamanism and Buddhism not only sustains Mongolia's cultural soul, but also gives its people a deep sense of spiritual resilience in an ever-changing world. Lake Kovsgol, The Blue Pearl. Lake Kovskul, often called the Blue Pearl of Mongolia, is a breathtaking natural wonder tucked away in the country's northern mountains. Stretching over 130 kilometers in length and plunging to depths of more than 260 meters, it is one of the deepest lakes in Central Asia. What makes it even more remarkable is that it contains nearly 70% of Mongolia's fresh water, a resource so pure that locals often drink it straight from the lake. Surrounded by snow-capped peaks and dense forests, its crystal-clear waters mirror the sky, creating a landscape that feels almost untouched by time. The lake is not just a scenic marvel, but also a hub of biodiversity. More than a dozen species of fish live in its waters, including the famous omul, while migratory birds like cranes and swans gather along its shores. The area around Kovskul is home to a diverse array of wildlife, including ibex, reindeer, and even bears, which roam freely through the pristine wilderness. For centuries, the lake has been a vital source of life for nomadic herders and reindeer herding communities, such as the Sayetan, who live in harmony with the land and its rhythms. Beyond its natural beauty, Lake Kovskul holds cultural and spiritual importance. Many Mongolians consider it sacred, offering blue silk kadag scarves and prayers at its shores. Whether explored by horseback, boat, or on foot, the Blue Pearl offers not just a journey into nature, but also into the spiritual heart of Mongolia. The white food diet. In Mongolia, dairy is more than just food. It is a way of life. Known as the white food, milk and its countless products dominate the traditional diet, especially during the summer months when livestock produce abundantly. A typical Mongolian day might begin with sute tsai, a salty milk tea that warms the body and provides energy. From creamy yogurts to dried curds called arul, dairy sustains families living in the harsh climate of the steppes. The sheer variety of milk products made from cows, yaks, camels, goats, and mares reflects the deep bond between Mongolian nomads and their animals. One of the most iconic drinks is erag, fermented mare's milk, slightly sour, lightly alcoholic, and rich in nutrients. For centuries, it has been celebrated not just as a beverage, but as a symbol of hospitality. Guests are often welcomed with a bowl of erag, and refusing it is considered impolite. Beyond its cultural role, dairy plays a practical purpose. Protein, fat, and calcium are crucial for survival in Mongolia's long, freezing winters, when vegetables and fruits are scarce. The white food diet is also linked to spirituality. In traditional beliefs, white foods represent purity, health, and good fortune. Many rituals and offerings to spirits or deities involve dairy products, underscoring their sacred status. Even today, despite modern influences, Mongolians maintain this deep connection to milk. For them, dairy is not only nourishment, but also heritage. The Singing Dunes. Deep in the Gobi Desert, the Kongorin Els Dunes stretch for over 100 miles, rising like golden waves against the horizon. These colossal dunes, some towering up to 300 meters, are not just a breathtaking sight. They also have a voice. When the wind sweeps across their slopes, or the sand shifts in avalanches, the dunes release a deep, resonant sound that echoes like distant thunder or an organ. This phenomenon, known as the singing or booming of the dunes, has fascinated travelers for centuries, turning this natural wonder into one of Mongolia's most mysterious landscapes. Locals believe the sound of the dunes holds spiritual meaning, while scientists explain it as friction between grains of dry, uniformly sized sand moving in waves. Regardless of explanation, standing at the foot of Kongorin Els and hearing the earth itself roar is an unforgettable experience. Sometimes the sound is a soft hum, other times it rolls across the desert like a drumbeat, making the silence of the Gobi feel alive and filled with energy. And that wraps up our journey through 15 mind-blowing facts about Mongolia, the world's most isolated nation. Which fact surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit subscribe for more adventures, and join us next time.